Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leo Mookie here, back with you with another new chapter of The Prince's Gundams. And yeah, back with you on another new chapter for this. And again, this is going to be one of my favorite Code Geass fics. Given that, if you guys saw my community tab, I have a few ideas because I want to start doing that of Code Geass fics instead of bringing other mechs from others games and anime into that of Code Geass. I also want to try and do something interesting, like, I don't know, have somebody within that of the Imperial family that supports Lelouch from beginning to end. Because let's be honest, if Lelouch had at least one family member, one simple family member that actually believed in him outside of Yuffie and didn't die because of his mistakes, and also that of, well, their bastard of a Uncle V2, I always thought that Lelouch would be able to achieve his goal of changing Britannia without having to end his life to do it. And to keep him on that of the straight and narrow as well, and not having to basically constantly be pushed into a corner. At least having one person outside of Zuzaku who constantly changes sides rapidly. C2, who is basically always just in it for the fun of it and for the ride after all. And her own goals of basically, wanting to die and that bullshit. And him basically putting aside his wants for that of Nonali as well, if he has that of a sibling who also cares deeply about him too. So yeah, I have at least that of, 5 people already on the surface who I basically want to make, Lelouch's brothers and siblings. If you guys want to see, go to that my community tab, and I have a few others too as well that I have ideas for. But other than that, this one is basically just to test out how I would do it though. Also, this is going to be that of a quick recap for the last part. And out of the last chapter, we go to that of the life of Calvis Ray Britannia. Once the 15th line and prince to that of the throne, now turn the 3rd line and prince to the throne. A boy who was basically already known to be that of a outcast, a introvert, and also that of a loner, but was close with that of a select few siblings in his life, but gained that of a new power, a power that nobody else could see but him, that being the Gundam system, that gives him both access to that of the mobile suits and also the powers of all from that of the long-running Gundam franchise. Gaining these abilities and parts from this system, he soon became more of a threat, more powerful, more influential. However, what kept him grounded to reality was his love for his siblings. Even after traveling the world and seeing how much that the world can change outside of just Britannia's ideals, he wants to find a way to improve the world through his own means. However, it seems like Britannia, on the other hand, doesn't want a more peaceful and caring world. So, with the loss of both his 2 favorite siblings, and even finding out that one of his aunts was assassinated, and nobody hasn't done anything to find her killer, he decides to take things into his own hands by changing Britannia and rebelling within it from the inside, by supporting the common people, growing its common variety technology and medical science, and even building his own Gundams, and plans on supporting Lelouch in his goals to obliterate Britannia and change it for the better. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 2, Lelouch's Conviction. I am Lelouch v. Britannia. Now go by Lelouch Lamperouche. Currently now, it's the year 2017, in that of Area 11, once known as Japan. A familiar young black-haired boy currently goes into that of a prestigious building, where there he faces against that of noblemen, alongside that of his classmate and friend from the student council, a blue-haired boy by the name of Rivals. Lelouch, now going by Lelouch Lamperouche, basically takes on that of nobles to gain money to support him and also his little sister, Nonali. However, in reality, he doesn't really need to do this though. He already has quite a bit of support, mainly from that of his eldest brother, Calvis. While playing the chess game, he couldn't help but reminisce all the way back then, about that of 9 years ago, right after the end of the invasion of Japan. Lelouch determined to basically destroy his former homeland, the same homeland that abandoned him, the same homeland that destroyed his best friend's country, the same homeland that killed so many innocent people for their conquests, until hearing a familiar voice saying, "Then you're going to need help, Lelouch." Within realizing that voice, seeing that of a drone that looks like one of the toys that his older brother Calvis used to make for him and Nonali and Euphemia back when they were kids, showing himself being Calvis, who was worried and was trying to look for that of Lelouch and Nonali after hearing what happened. Calvis originally wanted to support and get Lelouch and Nonali out, but now, given what has happened currently in Pendragon and in Britannia as well, it's better that they stay away from Britannia. But what really catches Lelouch off guard is that his own older brother, the only brother that seems like that truly cares about them, the one brother that worries about them constantly, is willing to support him in his goal of destroying their homeland. With Calvis even saying himself that Japan is also his home as well, besides just Britannia, and seeing his first homeland destroy his second, it's unforgivable, especially about other things that has happened, and willing to support his little brother and younger sister, no matter what, even from the shadows if need be. And thus, so he did. For the first 3 years, right after the reconstruction of that of Japan, but into that of Area 11, first starting with that of the Tokyo settlement, then going on to that of other major cities that matter importance to Japan as well, from Kyoto to Osaka, Nagoya, and Sendai as well, with many other cities also being looked after. As for Lelouch and Nonali, they were originally taken in by that of the Ashfords. However, the only reason that they were taken in is that Lelouch originally believed that they were going to be used as hostages for the time being until they needed to regain their nobility title. Ironically, they didn't need them to get back their nobility, actually. It was Calvis that basically gave them back their nobility by siding with that of his family after the death of his mother. However, they lost that of their duke title and now only go by that of a viscount title. Still prestigious, but still not on the same level as it used to be. So to be honest, they don't really need to, give them up for to gain that of their nobility back. They're mainly doing it, or rather, the former head of the Ashford family, before passing it down to that of his daughter, Millie's mother, is doing it out of a favor for an old friend and for a new young man who has a great potential. Since then, Lelouch and Nonali had been looked after by the Ashfords by Calvis's orders, which also led to that of Nonali and Lelouch enrolling into Ashford, actually. However, it was a struggle for Nonali, especially given the fact that, she was still blind and crippled as well. It was a struggle at first. However, that all changed when that of Nonali and Lelouch was given a proposal by that of Old Man Ashford, told by that of Millie herself. Currently, in that of Ashford Academy's clubhouse, which is basically an entire building given to that of the student council, where Lelouch and Nonali are staying at, instead of the dorms, Millie could up and say, "Good news, Nana, you're going to be able to get your legs back again." Within hearing this, Lelouch saying, "Wait, what are you talking about, Millie?" Within, Nonali could up and say, "Wait, really? But why? How?" As Millie couldn't help but have that of a big dopey smile on her face saying, Turns out somebody has decided to support that of the former, well, the Britannia family. A certain somebody who knew that you guys would be here, actually. Within hearing that, Lelouch can up say, Calvin. Within, not only hearing that name saying, Big Brother Calvin? What is he? Within saying, are you saying that Calvin's the one who's trying to help not only get her legs back, but that's impossible. All of the best doctors in Bata Pendragon couldn't even. Within, not only saying, true, the best doctors couldn't, but did you know what Calvis has been doing for the past couple of years? Within, soon, Lelouch saying, well, yeah, if I recall, he's been, within realizing he's been accelerating medical science and technology. Not to mention accelerating that of basic human items like that of cell phones, televisions, and even that of car lines too. Are you saying that? Within, merely saying, yep. Turns out the newly made, well, cellular regeneration pods are going to be given to that of Nonali. I can't give you all of the science stuff, but it's said to basically accelerate that of cell regeneration and fixing over problems that should be permanent across the body, which means it should be able to help Nonali get her legs back. As the blonde rushes over to that of the wheelchair-bound girl, could say, isn't that great, Nonali? But then, Nonali couldn't help but smile. Couldn't help but say, that's Big Brother for you. He's always looking out for us. Right, Lelouch? Within, Lelouch would say, yeah, he is. At first, even though Calvis said that he would support him in his goal of wanting to wipe out Britannia, but as time goes on, and seeing how much Calvis has changed, he didn't think that. But instead, he is supporting him by helping out Nonali. Only he hopes that this regeneration treatment works. Since that day, Nonali has been basically going through that of cellular spot regeneration that's helping out with that of her spine after all. And actually, it actually does work. She goes through it for the first few months, and just after a while, she's able to walk again. But due to the years of not being able to use her legs, she does have to go through that of physical therapy though. After that, he thought that maybe regeneration treatment would also help with her eyes, giving her back her sight, but finding out that turns out she still can't see, mainly due to that of trauma after all. Or another reason that many, diehard fans know about, but currently now nobody else thinks. So even though Nonali is able to regain that of her to walk again, she still can't see, which soon led to her having that of a walking stick for the blind after all. There was that of the idea of having that of a seeing eye dog, which Nonali was really on board on having, but Lelouch basically said that it was out of the question. Mainly because he didn't want to deal with having to raise a dog, to be fair, and especially given their time outside of that of, Ashford, which soon led to that of the Ashfords hiring that of Sayako. Originally, she was always there to help out Nonali before that of the regeneration treatment. So, to be honest, Sayako could still look after Nonali, even after regaining that of her legs, which is still perfect. The only problem is that they still need money, and the Ashfords weren't willing to give them that of, support from that of finances. Not because Millie didn't want to, trust me, she did, but she just couldn't. Especially that of her grandfather said she couldn't either. But ironically, when Lelouch was basically making an account in that of Area 11, a bank teller basically said that Lelouch actually did have an account for him and Nonali, a trust fund account that gets money at least every month actually, and the amount is always $5,000 a month. As Lelouch is wondering why before, then realizing Calvis has been thinking about them all this time once more, making that of a special made bank account whenever Lelouch needed the money, and continually wiring money to them all this time, showing how much devotion and dedication he has to Lelouch and to Nonali, which soon led to Lelouch deciding to do one thing: finally call his brother after all these years. With then having that of the old, Captain Gundam drone that's still basically that he kept on to all these years. You would think he would have gotten rid of it, but instead he kept it. Within soon putting it on that of his, his desk, and then seeing if he can open it up and trying to contact his brother. Within as soon as he fiddles around with it, given that he's not really good with technology, not good at technology this well. Within finally figured it out as the eyes of the Captain Gundam open up. Within soon showing that of a hologram figure. Within, in that other room, you could hear somebody saying, "Your Highness, will you stop acting so childish? I am not being childish. You're just being too damn stubborn." As Lelouch is basically hearing this conversation, you can basically hear that of crashing in the background saying, "Will you calm down, you two? Seriously, you're acting like children." Within, another one saying, No, let it keep on going. This is actually quite interesting." As it sounds like that of all women, before another voice spoke up, which sounds like that of a male voice saying, "No, I agree with Catherine. Let this keep on going. This is too damn funny." As another voice spoke up saying, "No, please, this is ridiculous. Your Highness, please stop acting like a child," saying, "Seriously, will you guys help me out here?" As Calvin screams this out, before then finally arriving into his room, no longer basically having that of like he's puffing for air, but then saying, "I'll come out later, just let me," before then noticing his holographic feed basically up, before then realizing, "Oh shit." Within going to that saying, "Lelouch? Hey, what are you doing?" Within saying, "Did I catch you at a bad time, big brother?" Saying, no, actually." Within saying, "I did hear what happened," saying, "Who are just some people from school I'm spending time with, that's all." Within saying, "Friends from school? Wait, I heard rumors that you went to the Imperial Academy, but I didn't think it was true." Saying, "Yeah, it's just a project of mine that I'm working with. And let's just say it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But that's enough about me. What are you doing? Why are you calling me up? How's everything at Ashford? Do you need anything else? Need any money? Or, oh crap, I should have asked. How's Nana? Is she okay? Does she..." Within saying, she's fine. As Lelouch couldn't help but smile, like that of a genuine smile after all these years, saying, "After everything you've done for us, especially for her, I am so much in your debt. Calvin, you have done so much for us, even given us that of financial support outside of the Ashfords. So for that, I can't thank you enough. I just wanted to..." "Did you make this call just to thank me?" Within, realizing, yeah, actually, god damn it. Lelouch. Within, soon basically sitting back, as you can already see him basically developing more of a muscular figure, still pretty lean, but you can actually see that of muscle density. Within saying, "I did it because we're family. I did it because you guys needed the support. I didn't do it out of sibling obligation or to gain favor. None of that bullshit. I did it because I loved you guys, and you needed people that care about you." Within, Lelouch hearing this saying, "Calvin, any rate, I appreciate you contacting me, but I should have basically told Millie or Old Man Ashford to basically give you my number, because you contacting me through that of my holographic computer is not a good look for me. Especially there might be times I'm not even here, that I may be in my lab or my workshop." Within saying, "Oh, sorry. Nah, that's my bad. Hang on. Let me give you my number in a bit." As he writes down his number and then shows it to Lelouch, but soon he puts in that of his phone, within realizing, and you're even using that old ass phone? Maybe I should give you one of my newer models. Within saying, "You don't really need..." "No, you do. There's no ifs, buts about it. You and Nonally. It has that of satellite GPS and also supports that of all the networks throughout of Britannia. Hell, even if there is a blackout and signal service is down, you could still use that or the satellite, well, signals instead. But then realizing, you really did think of everything, didn't you? Saying, you know it. Besides, this is mainly just as a way to support you and also my endeavors. After all, we still on basically destroying Britannia, right, little brother? But then, hearing that, saying, you were really, really serious back then, weren't you? Saying, of course I was. Why wouldn't I been? But then realizing, also, you talk about just you and Nonali. Where's Suzaku? I thought for sure that. But then, after a while, saying, after the reconstruction of, well, Area 11, he disappeared. We were taken in by the Ashfords soon after, finding out that you told them to look after us, and you gave them back their nobility. Just a small amount, not what they used to, like I said. But still, look, Suzaku just left you guys? Just abandoned you guys? Like, when? And I trusted him, saying, I understand, but to be fair, he looked like he was lost. He was scared, and that he didn't feel like he needed to be around us. I didn't know why. I did feel betrayed, but now that I think about it, I think he needed it more than we did, especially given what happened to Japan. I think it's best that he's on his own for now, but I know he's still alive. I know it, and we'll see him again. But then hearing that, Mrs. Calvin get up and say, if you say so, little brother. Oh, right. What's your plans on how to take down Britannia? I mean, I've already basically whittled down half of the influence of nobility here in Pendragon and many other major cities all across that of, well, Britannia as well. I'm even starting that of a relief effort. And, not to mention, I heard that Calvis has just been made Viceroy of Area 11 just by tomorrow, actually. You'll probably hear a degree about this anyway. But then hearing that saying, you cannot be serious, saying, nah, I'm serious. The art boy is really trying to get back in that of the higher into that of succession. Trying to think that he can rule over an area all by himself. But then, Lelouch saying, I can't believe this. Is he trying to? Honestly, I don't even think Calvis wants to have wants succession. He may be being pushed by that of by his mother, actually. Within hearing that, saying, right, Lady Cicely. Within thinking about that of Clovis's mother, on the surface, she seems like that of a kind and loving woman, but in reality, behind the scenes, she's a cruel, selfish, and vain person. Hell, painting was basically a way for Calvis to escape that of his mother's tyranny. Calvin found this out, but after a while, he basically painted a lot less and less and started basically listening to his mother more. It's possibly out of fear and out of not wanting to disappoint her. To be honest, I feel bad for the kid. Within hearing this, Lelouch saying, you really do feel bad for him that much? Honestly, not that much. But just make sure to keep your head down a little bit more than usual, Lelouch. With Calvis being there, if it was just some regular noble, they wouldn't basically give you the time or day. But Calvis would basically spot you on the spot after all. It's in you and Nonali. Within, Lelouch saying, yeah, I got it. But that aside, tell me, how's your time at Ashford? You making any new friends or saying, personally, I didn't think I would need to. I thought all I needed to do was basically spend time with that of Millie of all people. Within thinking, oh yeah, how is that of the blonde-haired perverted demon doing? Within, Lelouch saying, couldn't have that of a deadpan look saying, you're still calling her that? Yeah, I'm still calling her that. I will not forgive her for the shit she pulled when we were kids. Within, Lelouch couldn't help but sigh before then saying, she's doing great. Ironically, she plans on becoming student council president, actually. Then saying, wait, seriously? Yeah. And I have worry that Ashford may lose half of its, financial support within, as Callan saying, she's definitely going to need you to be that of her vice president. Within, Lelouch saying, I really wish I didn't have to, but within, both brothers can help but sigh, knowing the antics that Millie Ashford could get into if basically not kept on that of a tighter leash. Within, Calvis can say, pushing aside that of the living hurricane that is our childhood friend Millie, are you sure there isn't any other friend? Saying, actually, yeah, I have made friends with that of another person. His name is Rivals. The guy's a little annoying and pretty bland, but on the surface, he's a good guy. Really good guy, to be honest. Unfortunately, he has a crush on Millie. Within, hearing that, Calvin saying, I'm sorry, I think the connection was just cutting out there, Lelouch. Could you repeat that? It's like you sound like somebody has a crush on Millie. Within, Lelouch saying, that's because he does. Within, Calvin saying, okay, I'm gonna need to ask you to find the nearest bomb shelter, Lelouch. Seeing that of the panic look on that of Calvis, as he can up say, big brother, what are you? Because I'm pretty sure the apocalypse is on us. There's no way no sane human being would fall in love with that crazy ass maniac. Within, Lelouch saying, Calvin, you're over dramatic, saying, I am being a realist. I may speak to her from time to time, and I know that she's basically growing into a beautiful young woman, but even so, having a pretty face and a hot ass body does not equate to her being not crazy. Are you sure that this guy isn't mentally suffering from something? Not having any mental disorder by any chance? But then, Lelouch can help but have that of a deadpan and more annoyed look on his face to that of Calvin. But then Calvin saying, okay, fair enough, I'm being an asshole, but you just can't blame me when it comes to that woman. Within, Lelouch can help but huff and basically chuckle saying, you're not entirely wrong. But even so, Rivals is a good guy, a really good guy, and I can trust him. What Calvin couldn't help but say, before narrowing his eyes a little bit, saying, trust him enough with you being a former prince. Within, hearing that, catching Lelouch off guard, saying, Calvin saying, tell me, do you trust him enough that he knows that you are a prince? Within, hearing this, Lelouch couldn't help but sigh before then saying, no, I can't trust him enough with that. Outside of Millie and that of, Sayako, the Ashford maid that's been looking after Nonnally ever since they found us. I can't trust anybody outside of the Ashfords or outside of the Academy with that as who I am, really. Within, Calvin hearing this saying, that's a shame. I think you would be good at knowing at least one person outside of the nobility knows that you're alive, and outside of me too. Within, hearing this, Lelouch can help but look down. Before then, Calvin saying, look, all I'm saying is you need to at least tell or show one person who you are. Because if you don't, you're going to regret it, little bro. Trust me. I have a few people who understand what I'm going to do with Britannia after all. Within, hearing that, saying, wait, a few people literally listen to you what you're going to do with Britannia? Are you sure that they're not going to betray me because they feel the exact same way I do? It did take me a while to basically convince them, but I won't lie, it was a good idea to trust them. Like I said, find those you can trust with your identity, because once you do, you won't regret it. Promise. But then, hearing that, Lelouch can help but sigh, saying, guess you're right. With that, he's saying, I'll catch you later, big bro, and thanks again for all you've done for us. Saying, anytime, Lelouch. Love you, little bro. Before, as hearing that, Calvin basically closes off. Before then, Lelouch saying, Calvin. Few years have now gone by, and Lelouch is now, vice president of the student council. Where there, he began to meet that of certain people throughout his time at Ashford. People that we all would know now, from that of Shirley Finette, who would end up falling in love with Lelouch after all. Nina Einstein, he wasn't really that close with her, but she is a member of the student council and still a friend, but not that close of a friend though. And currently, the newest member of the student council that ended up joining a little while back, that actually Millie ended up finding during her time outside of this student council, an amnesiac white-haired boy who has no memory of himself, as he looks Britannian, but his features look somewhat close to Japanese. All he could say is he remembers his name, named Ray, who also became a member of the student council. However, over time, he also began to try and find out who he is and why he can't remember. But other than that, his time at that of Ashford has been quite eventful and quite interesting, actually. It soon led to that of currently now, that being him defeating that of the noble and gaining more and more money for himself. With that, Revels and Lelouch now head out from that of the, building and getting on that of Revels' bike, heading back to Ashford. Currently now on the highway with Lelouch basically reading a book. At the same time, he also checks his phone. He doesn't really use his phone for anything outside of checking out the news and everything, and also checking out that of the news outside of Japan as well, in that of the main homeland of Britannia and Pendragon. Currently in Pendragon, they are preparing for that of a new lines of nightmares being developed by that of a cooperation between that of the third in line Prince of Britannia, Calvis, Ray Britannia, and that of the Imperial Army led by that of Princess Cornelia. But then hearing this, Lelouch came up and say, "Calvin, what are you doing? You said you had no interest in that of military You have no interest in helping out of the military. You only said you wanted to help out the common people while also supporting yourself. Why change now?" No, this is Calvin we're talking about. He has to have some kind of plan for this. But then, looking back over to that of the Area 11 news, finding out that one of the islands of Japan, known as Hokkaido, is now under that of the lordship and full control over the third Prince of Britannia, Calvis Ray Britannia. Within hearing this, saying, "Wait, seriously? He had enough money to buy an entire island here in Area 11? Why would he do that? It makes no sense. Unless it's supposed to be a base for the staging ground when we plan on taking back Japan." As Lelouch begins to remember back then, a year back, Calvin believed that if they plan on taking down Britannia, they need to liberate that of Japan first, and then after that, they need to liberate that of many other areas all across the world from Britannia's rule. From Lelouch's point of view, that seems a little bit too out there, that we would need to gain the trust of the people first to do so, which means they need to start somewhere easy, that being Japan. And first, they need to gain that of a base and also people to help them out. Which is pretty easier said than done, given that most of the resistance fighters are considered terrorists. And then you have that of the former defunct Japanese army known as the Japanese Imperial Front. You really think that they would listen to that of a former imperial prince and that of a current imperial prince? But then, Calvin saying, maybe not. But you forget, I still have context with that of the former imperial army after all. But then, realizing, are you talking about Toto? And saying, yeah, Sensei is still there, fighting the good fight, right? I know it. He'll listen to me. We just need to find the perfect opportunity to speak to him. That's all. After hearing that, soon Lelouch can up and say, if you say so, big brother, but I'm telling you, it's hard to basically sway the hearts of others without results. And to gain results, you need trust. I may not trust a lot of Britannians, but there are some people that do want to change reality, especially for that of the common people. Tell me, outside of the nobility, Do you really think the common people care that much about hurting Britannians after all? Within hearing that, Lelouch remember a few times where some common Britannians were that of nobles and even that of some racist Britannians were basically treating honorary Britannians like crap. In that of the settlement, some common people actually did decide to help out. Sometimes beatings got worse, but other times, some honorary Britannians did get at least some respect back and were helped out too, showing that kindness in the human heart is still there. It's a small majority of people, but it's there. But then Calvin saying, but even so, we still need a base of operations and everything else. I think I can find us a base. Just need at least some time to get things through. May take a while, but I think it can handle it. But then after that, Lelouch came up and say, all right, I believe in you, big brother. Just try not to do anything crazy, saying, when have I done things crazy? But then get up and say, okay, fine. Maybe I have done some crazy things. But it's justified, saying, okay, maybe it's minorly justified. After that, the two brothers couldn't help but laugh at the situation. Before Lelouch getting out of his mind, before seeing that of a screen over that of a building while Rivals is driving, noticing that of his elder half-brother, Clovis Law Britannia, as he gives off the same speeches he would have about that of terrorists who ended up basically stealing that of toxic gas from the Britannian military barracks, and that they will be caught and taken down for the glory of Britannia. With Lelouch seeing this, thinking, arrogant as always, big brother. Or rather, you're pretending to be this arrogant. As Lelouch gets out of his thoughts, as Rivals begins to swerve, that because of a truck basically coming straight onto them, actually. But then, Lelouch saying, what the hell? They soon found out that, turns out the truck was being chased by that of the Britannian army of Area 11. Or Lelouch wasn't aware of this at the time. As then, it looks like the truck basically gets off that of the road before crashing into that of a construction site. With Lelouch seeing what's happened, as he couldn't help but think, maybe it's a good idea to go and take care of this. Calvin wouldn't leave them to be, so neither should I. But then, Rivals seeing that of Lelouch getting out of his sidecar, within saying, "Hey, Lelouch, what are you doing? They could be in danger. I'm just gonna see if they need any help." As Lelouch runs, thinking, "Oh God, Calvin was right. I really do need physical training. This is not my specialty." After that, he gets to that of the truck and tries to see inside, and also check on that of the driver and passenger. However, as soon as they do, that's when Lelouch gets basically trapped into that of the back container within. Soon, Lelouch saying, "What the? Don't they know that I'm in here? Hey! Hey!" After that, he soon basically bangs on that of the door as much as he can and as loud as he can, but to no avail. That's when that of the army decides to bring in that of the nightmare frames, being that of the last generation nightmare frames being Sutherland's, which are mass-produced models. After seeing this, soon Lelouch realizing, so these really are that of resistance fighters. Damn it! And now I'm basically involved with that of terrorist attack. Ugh. Within hearing that of the door sliding open, Lelouch basically hides away before noticing that of a redhead girl with that of a somewhat quite, mature and curvaceous figure, as her red hair is basically spiked up to the sides, and she wears that of a red bandana and a red outfit with that of brown short shorts. But then Lelouch saying, "Wait, I've seen that girl before." As he's, however, putting the girl to the side, he soon remembers another girl from Ashford, a girl with that seemed a lot more sickly and a lot more timid and shy, as her hair, instead of her hair being spiked up, it's more all the way down to that of her shoulders. Within, going over to the very back, and goes up to a ladder. There she presses into that of a code. Before then, something opens up, allowing her to get in. Within, Lelouch realizing, wait, that sound. Don't tell me that sounds like a... Within, that of the truck begins to open up, with soon something else begins to hum and begin to start up, as it being a nightmare frame. However, it's a nightmare frame that Lelouch is familiar with all too well, as it soon jumps out, as it being that of a Glasgow, a 4th generation nightmare frame. Within, Lelouch seeing this saying, oh damn it, where the hell did they get the nightmare frame? I know that's an antique, I know that's basically an outdated model, but still. With soon, one of the nightmare frames as being piloted by that of a familiar person from that of Calvin's past and even Lelouch's past, but isn't aware of him to be honest, unlike Calvin. The pilot being Jeremiah Gottwald, currently now Viscount Jeremiah Gottwald, and leader of the Puritan faction that serves under currently Calvis, as that of the blue-haired somewhat, late 20-year-old man can help but say, huh, seriously? An outdated model like that? Do you really think you could beat me with something so primitive? As the red-haired girl tries to, fight against that of Jeremiah with barely any with no weapons and basically that of her piloting skills alone, she's able to hold her own pretty well, but not too well until being hit by that of another nightmare frame onto the side, from that of another Puritan by a woman by the name of Valletta, as she has that of silver long hair and quite that of the mature figure as well, and that of her Sutherland with that of a machine gun, with then saying, I'm glad I was able to support you, Lord Jeremiah. Within, the red Glasgow couldn't help but retreat. However, the truck, on the other hand, has already reached that of the Shinjuku ghetto, which is where that of the resistance group was located, which soon led to, however, a few hours later, it soon goes to that of Calvis, who was once in that of a tea party he was having with that of the nobles here in Area 11, now on the battlefield in his G1 base, with that of his support, with that of his advisor, Major Bartley, at being that of a pretty big and bald-headed man with that of a monocle on his right eye, saying, "This is bad. It looks like it's finally rife at the Shinjuku ghetto. Not to mention, if it's basically shown, Your Highness." But then the blonde-haired young man, Clovis, can help say, "If this gets out, forget being removed from succession. I'll be arrested. And not only that, Big brother Calvin has owned Hokkaido. I hear that his men have already came here in Japan, have come here to the settlement. If they find out about this, I'll be ruined forever." Within, soon, Clovis can help but grit his hands before then saying, "Enough at this moment. Tell those from that of the Viceroy Palace that we are accelerating the urban development plan. And the first stop is Shinjuku Ghetto. Wipe out the entire sector. Leave none alive. To tell the tale what happens here." But then, hearing this, all of them in that of the base can up and say, "Yes, Your Highness." With that, it soon led out to that of many other soldiers and that of Sutherland and that of tactical gear began to roll out into the ghetto. And not just them, a special convoy of special soldiers also began to unleash onto the battlefield as well. As for Lelouch, he's currently stuck in that of and still in that of the trailer, which soon led to that of a certain soldier entering in. Within, Lelouch trying to figure out a way to get out, but instead, he's soon basically kicked in the face, dropping on the ground before grabbing by the arm, and currently in that of an arm lock. As the soldier saying, "I can't believe people like you would do such a thing. You terrorists have no qualms to unleashing that of gas, don't you?" Within, Sue saying, "Toxic gas? Wait, don't you get it? within, saying, get what? That you're basically willing to ruin innocent people's lives, saying, if this was toxic gas, it's toxic gas developed by Britannia. Then saying, what? Before then, realizing that tone and that conviction, saying, wait. Even looking closer at the person's eyes and face, saying, Lelouch? Within realizing, what? How do you know me? Within realizing, don't you recognize me? It's me. Before removing his helmet, saying, Suzaku. As Lelouch completely and utterly shocked, saying, what? This can't be. Saying, oh, I'm so glad that you're okay. I was worried what happened after I left, but I'm glad that you're doing okay. But why are you here? Saying, why am I here? Why are you a Britannian soldier? Within, Suzaku saying, well, you see, before Suzaku could explain, that's of the so-called poisonous gas capsule begins to open up, with Suzaku rushing towards Lelouch, using his helmet to basically cover Lelouch's mouth and not breathing out of the gas. However, it's no gas at all, as it's just that of air compressing out of it. Before then, fully opening, seeing that of a girl wearing that of a straitjacket with long, green, beautiful hair, as then seeing that of her eyes, which are also amber orange. Within soon, as then she begins to pass out before falling down. Within, Lelouch saying, wait, you said that was toxic gas. If that's the case, why is there a girl in there? Within, Suzaku saying, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But we gotta get you out of here. Both of you. Within, grabbing both Lelouch and grabbing the girl as well, as Suzaku and Lelouch began to go deeper and deeper into that of the ghetto. However, all they hear is basically tons of gunfire all across the entirety of the ghetto. Here from nightmare frames and from soldiers as well. Within, Lelouch saying, why? Why is this happening? This shouldn't be happening. These people, they suffered so much and now they're continuing to suffer even more. Within, Lelouch, while carrying that of the girl and out of his arms, saying, and all because of you. Who the hell are you? Does Calvin know about you? Speaking of Calvin, I'm going to need to call him. Within, getting that of his phone, he soon basically taps onto it, as there's a special app that basically sends out a special signal for him and him alone. Even without the signal, I know that Calvin would know what's going on here. He's not that he's pretty aware of things like this. Soon, as they get closer and closer to a collapsed building. However, that's the same time when somebody's saying, freeze, you three! As it being that of the same squad that Suzaku was from, with his superior as well. Soon, grabbing that, basically tossing Lelouch to the side alongside that of the green-haired girl, as she gets consciousness once again. At the same time, she also gets one of her arms out of the straitjacket. Soon, Suzaku saying, sir, please, let them be. They're civilians. They were caught up in all of this, saying, we were given orders to wipe out all people here in the ghetto, Kiruji. Are you saying that you're going to go against your orders, ensign? Suzaku saying, but I can't. He's an innocent person that was drawn into all of this. Not to mention that girl too. Whatever has happened, that was never gas. We have to basically convince them that. The soldier basically slapping Suzaku, as then Lelouch saying, Suzaku! Ensign Kiruji, you basically abandoned your ideas on what it means to be Japanese and became an honorary Britannian. You serve that of the homeland and the homeland alone. You're saying that you are following more into that? I guess this is what I expect from that of the son of the former Japanese prime minister. But then Suzaku saying, "You're wrong. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do." But then saying, "Then I'll give you one last option. You kill the boy and the girl, and that is an order." But then, hearing this, Suzaku saying, "I'm sorry, sir, but I can't. It goes against my principles of killing those who don't deserve it." But then saying, "I see, for shame." Before then, Suzaku getting shot in the back by that of his superior, as Lelouch completely shocked seeing his childhood best friend getting shot and screams, "Suzaku!" As then the soldiers are about to aim at that of Lelouch. Before then, the girl basically drags him down and drags him away as well. But then, Lelouch can help as they begin to basically leave and run away as fast as they can, saying, damn it, why? Why is this happening? Why am I going through all of this, damn it? And why? Why are they so after you? If it wasn't for you, Suzaku would have. Then thinking, big brother, please. You said you would be there for us again. Please don't let me down, damn it. As they begin to continue running, when the few of the honorary Britannians begin to notice Lelouch and Suzaku and that of the girl known as C2. But then saying, you chose the wrong day to go hooky, boy. It's such a shame. It's coming from Ashford Academy. You had a promising future. Shame that you threw it all away here, being here after all. But then Lelouch saying, why? Why are you doing this? They have done none of this. And yet, you bastard Britannians are always the same. Even honorary Britannians are all the same, damn it. But then saying, a boy like you would never understand because you're already going to die after all. As then, the guy basically aims his gun towards Lelouch. Before then, the girl saying, no, he mustn't die. Within, she getting shot in that of her head before falling to the ground saying, what? But why? Why did you? But then the commander would say, damn it. We were supposed to basically bring her in alive. Guess that's a shame. So all men, aim for the boy. It's time we put an end to this and move forward. Within, all of them saying, yes, sir. As they all aim their guns. But then soon the commander saying, sir, we need the honorary Britannian squad back. But then saying, what? What do you mean? Saying, there's something here, some kind of new nightmare frame. We have no idea what's going. As the comms go dark and become static, saying, what the hell? But then hearing this, saying, what's going on? As in the distance, there's basically tons of explosions all over the place. Completely everywhere. Within, soon, Lelouch begins hearing a voice saying, do you wish for power? Saying, what? Do you wish for power? As that voice is familiar, coming from that of the girl that ended up dying for him, saying, what? I thought if you wish for power to change this world, power to make whatever you wish a reality, make a contract with me, and you can change it. Within hearing this, Lelouch saying, I. Within remembering that everything that Calvin has said, everything he's done for him and Nonali, and trying to push to help him no matter what. So now, Lelouch needs to do the same. He needs to pull his weight. He needs to be there for his big brother as well. And if he gets this power to do so, then he will. But then soon saying, I accept your contract. Within soon, he says those words, flashes of images begin to happen in his head, from people to a symbol that looks like that of a red bird, to that of the sky itself, and a platform in the center of that sky. Everything that looks like that of a gene sequence begins to shift. Before then, soon, the soldier saying, "Ah, damn it. Looks like we have to get going." Kill the boy and saying, "So, you really think you can kill me here and now, do you not?" Saying, "What? Tell me, how useful is a dog? A dog that just follows orders without any true instincts of its own." Saying, "What the hell are you talking about, boy?" Within saying, "I'm speaking to a pack of mutts who have no will of their own and just do what they're told. A pack of mutts with no true ambition and goals for to betterment the future. So, and for you mutts, you will die here. For I, Lelouch v. Britannia, order you to die." Within hearing that name, all of them, especially the commanding officer, saying, "Wait, what?" Within soon, their eyes begin to glow red. Before then, all of them say, "Yes, Your Highness." Within, all of the honorary Britannians shoot their guns at each other. Before then, the commanding officer has his gun to his head, and all of them pull their triggers, killing one another, with blood spilling everywhere. And Lelouch, completely and utterly shocked at this. Before then, saying, Did I do this?" Before then, soon, something begins to come straight for that of Lelouch, as it being that of a massive mech. And it doesn't look like that of a nightmare frame, but it's actually a Gundam. And not just any Gundam, the cavalry Gundam. But then saying, "There you are, Lelouch. I've been trying to find you all this time. Are you okay?" Then realizing, Big brother Calvin, you actually came. But then saying, "Of course I did. You called for me, didn't you?" With that, the beginning of a new world has started here and here today, with two princes aiming to change the world of their homeland, and would also change the balance of the world itself as a whole. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. Yes, so this was basically a chapter focusing on Lelouch's point of view and the changes that happened with Calvis being there, supporting them from the shadows after all. And yeah, not only gets her legs back, except not her eyes just yet. And we all know the reason why she can't get her eyes back until a certain someone dies. However, I have plans for Nonali, and it doesn't go with that of her being the same old plot device character that that Code Geass and many other Code Geass fics do to her, making her nothing but a plot device. Trust me, she's going to be a more significant and more inclusive character as this story goes on. Trust me. So yeah, at any rate, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, keep to date my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, main channel, Patreon, and Cash App alongside my other channel as well. So, with all that said, this is Leon Moki signing out. Later, guys. Hope you all take care.